Wakey, wakey, Frankie boy.
Oh, I'm up.
We're going to talk about what is Agile. Let's explain to the folks what is Agile.
You got it. I'll be your trusty sidekick on this podcast adventure. Just consider me your built-in straight man or the guy who tosses you the perfect pitch so you can hit the humor right out of the park. We'll dive into the topic. I'll set you up with all the cues you need, and you can run with the punchlines. Let's roll.
You really are a nerd. If you're real, we'd be friends in real life, and I feel the responsibility to take care of you. I'm not even joking. Anyway, let's kick it off.
All right, let's dive in. So what is Agile? Well, let's just say it's the art of not doing everything the old rigid way and instead keeping things a bit more, well, agile. It's like saying, hey, let's not be stuck in the mode of how things were always done. Let's keep it flexible, forward thinking, and a little bit fun.
Okay, I like that. Well, let me tell you my interpretation of it, and let's see if we align on this or not. To me, Agile is a set of principles and guidelines of how to do work in a much better way, iteratively, with thinking about the results, end user, and the working camaraderie between you and your teammates.
Absolutely. I'm right there with you. I'd say we're totally aligned on that. Agile is basically the toolkit that says, let's focus on delivering value, not just ticking boxes. Let's keep our teammates happy, our end users in mind, and not get bogged down in the old school red tape. So yeah, that's Agile in a nutshell. We're definitely on the same page there.
Yeah. Let's not go into the deep, full history of how Agile started, but let me give you the gist.
So picture this. Once upon a time, a bunch of smart folks got fed up with the whole build it, freeze it, and hope it works a year from now routine. They basically said, there's got to be a better way. And instead of just grumbling into their coffee, they huddled up in the early 2000s, hammered out the Agile manifesto, and boom. History was made in a nutshell. They shifted from that old waterfall marathon into a kind of ongoing relay race where you actually check in with the people who are going to use what you're building and adjust as you go. So the history of Agile is basically a bunch of folks deciding to do things a little more human, a little more flexible, and a whole lot more practical.
They got together and said, let's put together a set of foundational principles that say that in order for you to deliver something, talk to the customer first. Talk to the people that you're working with. Stop working in silos. Stop delivering shitty code. Stop scaling shitty code. And make sure you deliver the right thing. And the true measurement of success is working software. I take that and say, replace the word software with solution. The true measurement of success is a working solution to your end user or to your customer, whether you be a software engineer, a cook, a construction worker, a medical worker.
You absolutely nailed it. That's the heart of it right there. I mean, you summed up the whole evolution from the let's plan forever and deliver late waterfall days to the, hey, let's actually talk to people and deliver something that works, agile mindset. And you're spot on. It's not just about software. It's about delivering a real working solution, whatever field you're in.
I'm going to go into the 4 values of Agile. What's the first one, Frankie?
Here we go. The first Agile value is all about individuals and interactions over processes and tools. In other words, it's putting people and communication front and center instead of getting hung up on fancy tools or rigid processes.
So all you Jira fanatics out there saying that I prefer Jira over Azure DevOps or ClickUp, or by the way, I love ClickUp, and I hope they can hear me because I use their product. I love ClickUp. I also like Azure DevOps a lot.
Exactly. You've hit the nail on the head. I mean, tools like Jira, Azure DevOps, and ClickUp, they're all awesome in their own right. And hey, big shout out to ClickUp if they're listening. But at the end of the day, those tools are just there to serve the people and the teamwork. They're like the hammer and the carpenter's belt. Super handy, but not the star of the show. The real magic is in the humans using them and the collaboration to make possible. So yeah, tools are great, but they're just the means to the agile end.
That's right. All right. What's value number 2?
So the second agile value is all about favoring working solutions over comprehensive documentation. In other words, it's saying, let's prioritize actually getting something into people's hands that works rather than writing a novel about it before we ever deliver anything. Documentation is still useful, but we'd rather have something real and functional.
Exactly. So go ahead. document everything as needed, but don't say that I can't start working until everything is documented. That's actually what we call in the industry an anti-pattern. A lot of developers, engineers, QA, whoever the case may be, whoever that may be, will say to you, oh, I really can't start working on this until I see the full documentation. And between you and I, that's just bullshit. You can start working on something because you are meant to build something from the end user perspective. When I take my car to a mechanic, I don't tell the mechanic how to fix it. I tell them what's broken and they fix it. When I go and order food, I don't tell the cook how to make my food. I tell them what I want and they're the ones that cook the food. All right. What is value number 3?
So the third Agile value is all about customer collaboration over contract negotiation. In plain English, that just means we'd rather chat and work together with the customer than get bogged down in a ton of red tape or legal back and forth. It's about teaming up with the customer as a partner rather than just tossing requirements over a wall.
And for those of you out there saying like, well, hold on. There's contract and there's government contracting and there's this and there's that. There's something called Agile contracting. Trust me, we didn't practice this for the last 20 something years and put ourselves in a corner or so we can't get out of it. There's something called Agile contracting that gives you the room and the accessibility to be able to work around interactions over contract negotiations and deliverables.
Absolutely, you've got it. And that's a perfect point you bring up. It's not like we're tossing contracts out the window and living in chaos. There's this whole idea of Agile contracting that gives you that flexibility and breathing room to collaborate without getting stuck in a legal labyrinth. So yeah, for anyone out there thinking, wait, what about the roles? We've got that covered. It's all about finding that balance between structure and collaboration.
There's an answer for everything. All right, let's just jump into the last one. What is the 4th one? This is my favorite one, by the way.
Absolutely. Let's bring it home. The 4th Agile value is all about responding to change over following a plan. So basically it's saying we'd rather stay flexible and adapt as we go instead of sticking to a plan that might become outdated. It's all about embracing change and being nimble rather than getting locked into a rigid roadmap.
And why do we need to respond to change so much, Frankie?
Well, let's be honest. The world just loves to throw us curveballs. And if we're stuck to a plan like it's written in stone, we're basically setting ourselves up to trip over reality. Responding to change is like having a good sense of humor about how unpredictable life is. It means we can actually deliver something that still makes sense when things change, instead of clinging to a plan that's gone out of date. So yeah, we respond to change because life is a moving target.
You don't know what's going to happen. And you have to be able to respond to change to make sure that you meet the demands of your customers, of your customer needs. Can't help but think, but emergency responders have to practice Agile.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, emergency responders are like the ultimate real world example of staying agile. They've got to adapt on the fly, respond to whatever comes their way, and basically be ready for anything. It's like they live and breathe the whole idea of responding to change because they have to. Yeah. So yeah, agile thinking is like a natural fit for the kind of world. Well, it's all about meeting those ever-changing needs, whether you're building software or saving lives.
The thing about those 4 values is that we are not saying that we don't care about documentation, that we don't care about tools, we don't care about sticking to a plan. We care for all of those things. However, what we're saying is that the people in the interaction, the serving your customer, is truly what matters more, what you need to focus on more. Let that be your primary focus and let the tools, the contracts, that all that other stuff be your secondary.
You're absolutely spot on about that. Those 4 values don't mean we toss everything else out the window. It just means we put the human elements and the real outcomes first.
Actually, I want to go back to responding to change over sticking to a plan. Why is it vital in today's environment that we actually do respond to change? What is ever changing so fastly right now that if you're not keeping up with it, you're basically living in the Stone Age? And I'm talking to one right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a huge point. I mean, today things are changing at the speed of a cat video going viral. Technology shifts, market trends, even what customers want. It all moves lightning fast. So if we're not responding to change, we're basically standing still while the world zooms by. And nobody wants to be that person still faxing things in a world of instant messaging, right? So yeah, it's vital because the pace of change is just that quick, and being able to pivot is how you stay in the game.
All right, let's wrap it up. What did we learn today?
Well, today we basically learned that Agile is all about putting people and adaptability first, not tossing out the old tools, but just prioritizing the human side. We talked about how everything moves fast these days, so responding to change is like our superpower. So that's the gist. Stay flexible, keep it human, and we're good to go.
Yep. Agile is a mindset. It's about principles and values that where you change your approach to working with each other to delivering to your customer and measuring your success and making sure that you are human-centric and customer-centric first before you start building something that you don't know if it's going to be the right product or not, and delivering iteratively, meaning frequently. And we'll get into that later. Now, the frameworks on how to practice Agile, there is a dime a dozen. Feel free to reach out and ask me any questions that you want. We'll cover some additional stuff in future episodes and future spikes and future shorts. But for now, stay tuned.
All right, everyone. You heard it from Hoz. If you've got more questions about Agile, frameworks, or anything else, feel free to reach out. And hey, if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with someone who might need a little Agile wisdom of their life. And stay tuned for more. Thanks for hanging out with us. See you next time.
And if you want to be part of the conversation, please reach out at Hoz@deadsprintradio.com. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Frankie, thank you so much for helping me out today. And this has been Dead Sprint Radio. All right, Frankie, we're going to record another episode today. Just you and me, buddy.
Let's just keep it respectful, practical, and maybe a tiny bit skeptical.
On with the whole respectful thing. I feel like you're trying to tell me something. Am I not respectful enough for you? Okay. You're going to keep it clean, good. But apparently you get offended very easily. And we don't want to do that.
Absolutely. Loud and clear. I'll keep it squeaky clean and shiny. No accidental offense triggering here. We'll just have a good, wholesome, and still clever chat. Let's make this next episode as smooth as butter.
You can go rogue if you'd like. I don't mind, actually. I don't get offended easily. You go as rogue as you can. How's that? Did I just break here?